Welcome to a non-project video, because before I can start with the next project, I have to fix a few things in my shop. As you can see, I have a lot of light installed in my shop to shoot good video, but two light bulbs decided to die at the same time. And I wanted to do something at the lathe, and I guess you can see the problem there. The thing is, most of my lights are fluorescent. What the f***? Why? Well, now I already bought the new lights. Most of the lights in my shop are fluorescent bulbs, for a good reason, because they are relatively cheap for the amount of light. Well, except if you have 10 of them. But the problem with them is they also die quite frequently. I think these two, or no, at least one of them, is the 8th bulb that's died, and replacing them is relatively cheap, but if you have to do it so often, then it's still not good. But it's also understandable, because they have a certain lifespan, and the lights in my shop are very often on for a very long time, so I basically need different lights. I already have two LED lights installed, and now I just begin to replace all fluorescent bulbs that break or that die with LED ones. They are a bit more expensive the first time you purchase them, but in the long run that will save me money. Now we switch to dark mode, but I still can run some lights because I have 5 individual fuses in my shop for the electricity, and that's perfect for situations, for example, when I'm working on the lighting. Now the fuse is off, but still, if these wire ends touch each other, that will activate the FI safety fuse, which will shut down the whole house. And I don't want to reset all clocks on everything, like the microwave. That's why I'm taping the ends. Here are the new LED lights. Let's unbox them real quick. If I'm lucky, these will have the same mounting holes as the old ones, and then I don't have to do anything because the wiring is also already there. And that looks different. Shit. To mount this, there are these two metal brackets that you screw to the ceiling, and they should be 90 centimeters apart. The old holes are 1 meter apart and also have the wrong distance to each other, so whatever. What you probably didn't learn in school is how to use a triangle on the ceiling. I should now be able to just click this into place. With this in place, I can now determine the position of the second one, and it looks like I again have to mount it at a slight offset to the first one. That's just how it all came together over the years. I won't remake the whole lighting. Next, installing all these little metal clips that will hold the cover. It's nicely labeled which wire goes where, but I cannot show installing it because with the wiring already up there, there's not enough space to film that. now I can put in all the bulbs. Okay, let's see if that works. It does. And wow, that is a lot brighter than before. Now the last thing is to mount the covers, but that should be really simple. These are done. Let's see when these die, and I have to upgrade them as well. And before you tell me, yes, this is also mounted at a slight angle. It had to be done because of the dust collection piping. Tight spaces in here. And now with the light back, I can go on. The other thing I want to do is to also add this power current quick connector to this drill and remove the cord. Now in the video where I initially made these changes to my power tools, I got a lot of feedback and let's call it criticism and not insulting me. But I listened to my audience, so let me try to make it better this time. Last time I opened up all tools and removed the whole cord with much thicker cords and, well, better ones. And most people said, yeah, why don't you just cut the cord? I explained everything in the video where I made this, but yeah, now I also just cut the cord because it's a lot simpler and quicker. Right about here. First I need to put over the sleeve. Last time I did not crimp my ferrules. And yeah, that was not particularly the best idea. So I now have a crimping tool. And yes, that would have been nice the first time. It makes everything just easier. But installing them is still very simple. As you just could see, I only installed line and neutral and no ground, because usually on handheld power tools there is no ground wire. However, here I used a cable that has a ground wire because it's much thicker and stronger. That's why I wanted to use it on these tools. And I didn't install it in the video where I showed this, and people were telling me I forgot to install a ground wire. So why should I install it if it's not needed and this plug will never leave this tool? You don't need to install a ground wire here, because there is no. The other thing a lot of people told me is that this connector is not suited for 230 volts 16 amps, but that's exactly what this is rated for. They just should have read or listened to me. No cord, easy to store away. That's why I did this. I probably didn't make everything perfectly 100% the way it should be done. And from my experience with dealing with electronics and posting it on YouTube and the comments, people will not tell me what I did exactly wrong and just start to insult me and calling me an idiot. That's somehow a strange phenomenon. But I'm prepared for that. I don't really care, because that's what you have to deal with when you do this kind of stuff. But I'm also prepared for nice, constructive criticism from people who know what they are talking about, doing this stuff every day. I don't do this stuff every day. I do the best I can. If someone can tell me what I need to do better, what is absolutely wrong, and can tell me this in a suitable way, that would be great. But for now, that's it. But once the wiring is there, getting this up there is one piece of shit. Why is it so difficult now?